pinky ring. Lot of gang, lot of bitches in the icy chain. While you claim that you rich, that's a false claim. I be straight to the whip, no baggage claim. Whole lot of styles, can't even pronounce the name. You ain't got no.
Hey you guys, welcome back to TaylorXo, or welcome to TaylorXo if you're a new subscriber. So y'all, I'm back. I know I took a week break, y'all, and I had some people hitting me up saying, Taylor, where are you? You know, we need your reaction. There's some stuff going on in these YouTube streets. And y'all, you guys know I honestly do not have any problem taking a break from this YouTube stuff. You know, I love you guys. I love coming here every day and doing videos. I know I promise you guys videos every day, but you know, sometimes this mom of three, this busy mom of three does need a break. And sometimes, you know, I just don't want to, you know, try and just squeeze in that time to get a video in. So sometimes, y'all, I just be sitting my butt down. I take a nap when my baby's take a nap. I use the night times to spend with my husband. So, y'all, I be taking my time. Like I said, you know, we all go through things in life. So, you know, I do take that time when, you know, I am going through things. And just, you know, usually, you know, 1 week out of the month, I usually do take a break. You know, sometimes I do go straight through. But, y'all, like I said, it was just one of them times where I definitely needed a break, and it was a well-needed break. So now that I am back, y'all, I'm glad to be back. Again, I missed y'all. So, y'all, where we left off was that Jazzy was moving out of her house. Y'all know in that last video, if you guys didn't go watch it, please go back and watch it, y'all, because it was a great video. And I did get into the fact that Jazzy was moving. Y'all know that there was a bunch of screenshots posted all over of people taking screenshots of Zillow and taking screenshots of the fact that Jazzy's house was up for rent. And, you know, they were doing viewings and tours, and there was scheduled times that you could go over there and, you know, get a view of the house that was up for rent. So, you know, left a lot of people wondering, like, you know, is she moving? Is she not? And sis went on a little break after that. She did go on a few-day break. And, you know, she came back, and I think a lot of people were surprised that she is still in the house. And it doesn't really seem to be packed up. You know, it really doesn't. But who knows with Jazzy? I mean, there wasn't much in there to begin with. And, you know, she's a last-minute person anyway. So who knows if, you know, the few days before she has to go, she's just going to hurry up, pack everything up, boom, bam, out of there, you know, just take her good old time through the night and, you know, leave out of there in the morning. So who knows what her plan is to move out of there, but we do know that she is moving out of there. But also, not only did she, you know, or not only have people been speculating whether or not she is moved out of there, but she also came onto the internet, y'all, to add on another storyline, claiming that people were calling her great-grandmother and asking for money and calling her mother. And it's just like, sis, how many stories are you going to come up with? I mean, we've gotten the pizza story, the moving story. Now people are calling her mother's phone. You know, all these things are happening to her all at once. And, you know, people are just trying to figure out, sis, like, are you that delusional? You know, are you, like, come on, what is truly going on? So not only did she come on live to say that people were calling her great-grandmother for this money, but she also came on, y'all, to show a video clip of CPS coming to her house, and that was another live that I left out. She also claimed that CPS once again came to her house and demanded that she take a drug test and that they wanted to see the kids. So let's get into this clip, y'all, that she added into her vlog, because I was just very shocked that she would include this in, being that, you know, this was a private moment, especially that her kids were going through. But we all know that Jazzy never cares about exposing her kids, especially if she can get a coin off of it. So let's get into this clip, y'all, and then we will talk about it.
This is not okay. I'm getting harassed because, not by this woman in particular, but because that one individual keeps calling people. So she has to see my kids because people just don't know how to stop. Aiden, come back in the house. Let her see you.
Thank you very much. That's all.
There's Ava. This is what harassment looks like. I pulled myself together today. And, you know, it's like I feel like people keep hitting me left and right. Hitting me left and right. So now the allegations is I'm doing drugs and I have to go right now.
So I had cut it right there because I didn't want to go into any more, but she was explaining how the CPS worker came to her house and demanded to see all the kids. And not only that, but the CPS worker told her that she had 2 hours to go to the nearest Texas medicine place and get a drug test done, and they needed to, you know, confirm whether or not she was on drugs, because apparently due to one of her lives, a clip that somebody had seen, or that's a clip that somebody had posted specifically alleging that she was doing something, which, I mean, I seen the clip and it could very much give that she was doing something, but you know, that's why you kind of watch what you do on this internet, because you don't know, you know, how people will take certain things. And, you know, she went to blame people and say that, you know, it's everybody's fault why CPS is coming to her door. And some people were alleging that it wasn't a CPS worker. Some people were saying that it was somebody for a viewing for the house, or, you know, just saying, you know, a couple things that possibly this woman was. But if you do hear clearly in the video, the woman was instructing her to see all the kids, and she basically said thank you when she seen all the kids. Some people were saying that CPS workers are mandated to come in the house and see what's going on and talk to you in there. Why the CPS worker decided to stand outside of the door and just see the kids one by one. You know, you would think a CPS worker would want to come in the house, see the conditions, you know, because if people are claiming that this person on drugs, they could be doing anything. There could be anything going on in the home. Just because, you know, they show a child at the door doesn't mean, okay, they're fine, they're good. I mean, there could be a number of things that are going on in the home. So people were alleging that, you know, this woman wasn't a CPS worker, and I myself, I will say that I do think that it was a CPS worker. Now, how she did the whole process, whether or not she did it right, I mean, these days there is so many workers that don't do their job right. You know, and it's in no way, shape, or form taking up for Jazzy, but I do think that it was a worker, you know, that had something to do with the kids, just the way that they were trying to see the kids. Now, it is a possibility that it could have been, you know, a showing or somebody there for the house, but it was just giving that, you know, somebody was there that wanted to see if the kids were okay. So people were also talking about how, you know, this wasn't a drug test. She did show a Band-Aid in one of her lives from getting this blood drawn for this drug test, and people were saying that she would have got pee drawn or a hair follicle test done. There's no way that she would have gotten blood drawn for a drug test. So people were saying it could be STDs that she was getting tested for, or something. And it's, you know, not too far-fetched. We know that Chris does cheat. We know that, you know, he does dip in with men and women. That's just my theory of it. So it's a possibility that sis could have gotten the bug, and, you know, she just didn't want to tell, and she had to use that story to go along with, you know, the excuse of her being at the medicine place. I don't know, y'all. I mean, I've never had any of that going on over here, y'all, so I don't know how it works or who you call when it does happen. I thought maybe an OBGYN would handle that, but maybe it was, and that's where she went. We know that Jazzy does some very strange and dumb things, so it was a good possibility that she was going there for some type of bug, you know, testing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so, you know, all these lies that this girl has been coming up with to deflect off of what's truly going on over there. And, you know, that's what we all been thinking all along. Like, there has to be something else going on that she's trying to get people to take their attention off of. And by coming on here and saying that, oh, CPS is calling, oh, they're mandating drug tests, oh, they're, you know, calling my great grandmother, they're calling my mother, you know, it's clear indication that she's trying to take the attention off of something, y'all. And we know that, you know, it was expected of her to move. She did have a 3-month lease, y'all. If you guys go back in her video, she did say that she had a 3-month lease, and she also mentioned her having a 3-month lease in this new video she did. So let's get into that clip, y'all, of her talking about how she is not moving, but when she does move, she will talk to you guys. She did say that she did get a new lease for her home, and that basically they had put it back on the market because they had to do a reapplication for her and Chris living there, because they didn't have have I don't know if they didn't have the proper information, and that's basically just meaning that they didn't have the information for Chris, because y'all know Chris doesn't have credit, probably didn't have a job at the time of her getting that place. As we all know, he never keeps a job. So I guess now he had to be put on the lease, and they had to do a reapplication, so they put it on the market and then they took it back off. Now this is what she claims, y'all, but let's get into this video and then we will talk about it.
We had to, one, do a drug test. Two, we had to do a whole new background check. So that came with that is that our landlord, it was so frustrating because a lot of people kept trying to schedule appointments to come to our house and view our house. We were trying to do it online on the app. The only way we was able to do that is that he had to reopen up our house so that we can do a background check, basically do a whole new application. So since people kept harassing them with that, he closed it back and we had to do it through his realtor. It was a whole different situation because people are just doing the most to try and come and see our house. Even though I vlog every day and you guys see our house on a daily, they wanted to come and personally zoom in to where Myjazzylife lives. And I get it, you know, a lot of y'all want to do it for content. I get it. But at the same time, like, this is where I live. This is my family home. Stop yelling. And I wish some people would just respect our privacy when it comes to our landlord situation. Everything has been basically spoken to. Our landlord spoke to the people, the HOA, and let them know everything. Because a lot of y'all just doing too much, calling them, trying to find information. And it's just sickening at this point. So with that being said, I'm not moving right now. When my lease is up, maybe. I'm not gonna even tell you guys when the new lease is up. I already did. A lot of y'all kept asking, like, did you do a 3-month lease? That's already been done. 3-month lease has been gone. But I'm not gonna even tell y'all when our lease is up because I feel like people like to look in areas and try to find houses and find things. I'm not gonna even say anything. When it happens, it happens. When you see us move, you see us move. But as far as me showing it to you guys, some people are just very, very obsessed with us, and I just really just want to leave that just there, okay? Other than that, I've literally been dealing with some stuff off of social media because I am trying to protect my family. I'm trying to protect them through a lot, okay? And this is my job, so I'm also trying to protect my image. I'm feeling a lot better today. I did not want to take 2 days off, but I did.
So y'all peeped in the beginning of when she started out talking about the things that she had to do for this, for the place, you know, her keeping the place. She said that they first had to do a drug test and then they had to do a background check. Now, sis, didn't you just say that the CPS worker ordered the drug test? Now you're speaking it into terms as if the HOA or the landlord requested a drug test. So which was it? Was it the CPS worker or was it HOA/the landlord who instructed you to get this drug test? Like, sis, you come on here and you say these lies and you don't even have them in place to even make sense. Like, you're all over the place and people are questioning you, and you come on here and you address everything but what people are wondering and trying to figure out. So she claims that she did have this 3-month lease and that's been over. Now she has a new lease, I guess. And she said when she does move, everybody will know because, you know, I guess they'll have no choice but to show them moving. But it just doesn't make any sense to me how she always tries to throw Chris out of the equation. Like, this man has nothing to do with what she has going on in there. Like, isn't he on the lease, you know, with the CPS workers? I mean, aren't they requesting for Chris to get these drug tests? Like, why is it only you that is dealing with the HOA workers and the CPS workers when Chris is also living in the home too? I mean, she also didn't even speak on the fact that they did have to do a whole reapplication, possibly because Chris wasn't on the lease to begin with. And we know for a fact that Chris was not on the lease to begin with. Now, why she doesn't want to be true about these things and mention these things? Because, you know, if people were to start asking more questions about why Chris this, why Chris that, you know, why she's handling things on her own like this, why she's, acting super secretive about a place when, sis, you're grown as hell. I mean, if you're leaving the place, you're leaving the place. I mean, obviously we know that Cheryl is always there for Jazzy's backbone to make sure that she does have a new place in case if, the place doesn't work out. Even if, her and Chris aren't speaking, I'm sure that Cheryl will make sure that Jazzy has a place. But sis, why are you trying to cover so hard for this man when we clearly know that he has something to do with something over there? I mean, you can't just tell me that you have 2 adults living in the home, but only one is being made to be drug tested and everything else, especially when Chris was in the video with her when so-called she was doing drugs, and it was alleged that Chris was the one who was making her do them. So why wasn't there any talk about Chris being made to do, any drug tests or follow any type of regulation? Or why wasn't Chris home at the time when the CPS worker allegedly showed up? It's like this man is always home. I mean, we've been seeing him in the vlogs nonstop. He's out to buffets with y'all. He's doing this, he's doing that. But then when the CPS worker shows up, he's nowhere to be. And you claim that you had to go take all 5 kids to Cheryl's because you didn't have anybody to watch the kids. Sis, why is this man always dipped off coincidentally when things are going down in that house? It's like he's there for little pizza deliveries, but when CPS workers show up, cops show up, and people are calling the phone, acting crazy like you say, and doing all these things, Chris is never around. It's like, are these things planned specifically for Chris not to be around? Is Chris the one that, is telling somebody to do these things to you? Or maybe is Chris the one doing these things to you? Because it just seems like Chris is always there coincidentally when important people are showing up wanting to know what's going on in the home and what is going on with the kids. And as we always know, Jazzy is going to cover for him and hide him and claim that he's not living there. But sis, I would think that now you can't get away from that because, now I'm sure the landlords do know there is a man living in there. And Chris does have to be on the lease now, but people are saying that she is leaving there. I mean, it does look a little empty in there, and it does look like, sis does have a few things going on, and she's not really speaking on, what's truly going on with the lease and the HOA and the landlord, because if she gives all that up, then it clearly will show that, she does have to leave. Now, I don't know, maybe if the landlord sympathized with her, being that she has 5 kids, she couldn't up and leave and find a place in time. Maybe they're letting her stay for a couple, maybe extra 30 days, or who knows. I mean, 30 days is, a good amount of time to, find another place, pack some stuff up. So maybe they did give her an extension because she has always paid her rent. Who knows what agreement that she does have with her landlord, but we do know that sis is out here just making up lies left and right and trying to, duck and dodge the truth because Chris is possibly maybe about to get exposed for something. I mean, there's always so many theories going on with Jazzy, and, it's never too far-fetched to think that, Chris may be possibly getting exposed for something big, or she's covering for herself for something to get exposed big. But we do know, sis, that you are lying over there. I mean, we've been having Flo busting out the lies left and right. Shout out to Flo. If you guys do follow her, she's been doing her extra investigation work and, busting Jazzy out for lies, calling the HOA herself and getting things, said of what's really going on. So y'all, I don't know what there is to come. I mean, obviously, we are alleging things and creating theories, and, who knows, because we can obviously just go off of what Jazzy tells us. And as of now, currently to this time of recording this video, when I looked up the Jazzy's address, there is no, option to view things. Still, there's no, selling or for sale or anything like that on her address. So like I said, who knows? We will wait another maybe 30 days and see, if sis is coming up with even more things to say. But to also come on here and say that people are calling your great-grandmother sis. And, we'll get into another video on that because I did have a few more things to say about, some lies that she was caught in her live that people were exposing. We'll get into that in a separate video, but I just wanted to kind of wrap up just solely this whole place thing. Is she moving? Is she not moving? So, we will see what's going on, y'all. Comment down below what you guys think. Do you think that she is due to move or she's not going to move? Do you think that she's hiding something that's about to be exposed with Chris, or hiding the fact that Chris is the reason why they have to leave? who knows, y'all. I just had to get on here and, wrap some things up on that because I know y'all wanted my reaction on it. And honestly, y'all, I really just don't really have too much to say on it, y'all. I want to see some receipts and some proof of something, y'all. And then we'll really get into this tea because, y'all, I really don't feed too much off of theories and alleged and things like that. We really have to get to the tea and get to what's really going on, get them receipts going. So, y'all, stay tuned for the next video. I'm so glad I'm back, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching and stay tuned for another one.
Woke up this morning, can't remember nothing. Two bitches just flowing from London. Nothing I remember, they calling me daddy. The mattress was covered in money. Went to sleep with my jewelry and chains on. Had to wake up and recount the money. I got a bitch, she gon' kill for real. Talking about Clyde and Bunny. Cool with the kid, copy. Got to pull up with a stick, stop it. Rich nigga shit, rich nigga. Oh, 100 pockets riding, got it. I go to space with the stars. I smoke a blunt on my pilot. Saturn, Moon, Earth, and Mars. NASA take off with the rocket. $500,000 on the necklace. No rich niggas, we successful. Say she wanna feel special. What?